All right, obviously tough loss. Had our chances to win. Just didn't make enough plays. Didn't play well enough defensively, and then couldn't make the plays at the end offensively to win the game in overtime. So disappointing, and something that we certainly have to learn from. So I'll take your questions.
What did you think of Illinois' offensive game plan and your guys' ability to adjust to it?
We came out. We predicted that they'd come out and be spread no huddle like they were. In the second half, they really for a long time it was only, I think at halftime they had 31 yards rushing. I think in the second half they ran for over 100 yards. So they just kind of did what they did last week. Well, we didn't seem to be the more physical team. We did win the turnover battle today. The defense took the ball away twice, but couldn't get off the field. I thought we had a really hot offense there for a while, and just would have loved to have gotten them the ball a little bit more. They sat for long stretches. And then obviously penalties really hurt us on defense. I think there was 3 drives with a 15-yarder, which is unfortunate.
So you got 3rd and 3 there at the 21. There's a couple different things you can do. You can either try to play for 2 downs there, or you can try for the play that you guys tried, or you could try then again on 4th down, or you can try the field goal. Why did you guys decide to do what you did? Obviously it didn't work, but what was the thinking behind it?
Yeah, it was wide open though. I mean, it's a hell of a play call by Sat, and we're just trying to throw the ball to the fullback on the flat. We were doing kind of what you said, like, hey, we're gonna throw, show a run formation, throw the ball fullback on the flat. Dylan sees the guy. Dylan's vision is amazing. He sees, that's not really even part of the progression most times. It's such a good play call that no one's open. We just don't connect on it, and it's 4th and 3 at that point, and that's a makeable field goal. I felt like we would make that field goal. It looked like when I looked at it, the laces weren't turned out. I had to kick the laces, and it just wasn't made. So, I think we took the approach. It was a long 3. Like, hey, let's throw the ball to the fullback in the flat. Just a guy popped wide open, and in a game like this, if you want to win those games, I think you just hope that you come down with that play.
What was the thought process behind calling all those timeouts when Illinois had the ball and they were starting to go downfield instead of letting the clock run?
Because that's what the book says to do. I mean, you're going to try to call timeout so that if they do happen to score, because either way the clock's not a factor for them, right? They have you have to either stop them or they get down to the 40. They can kick a field goal from about the 40, 45-yard line with that kid. So we're just following the book, to call on the timeouts so that if they did score, we'd have a chance to go back and score again. And they kicked the ball down. Unfortunately, it was at the 8-yard line, so we decided to go to overtime. If had it been a little further out, maybe we'd have let Dylan spin it.
Hey, Matt, a lot of these games kind of came down to a similar outcome at the end of last year. It seems like there were so many points where Turner went down and Tommy went down and Illinois bounced back. How did you see the resolve from your team tonight compared to these games last year?
I thought we had good resolve last year. Tonight was disappointing. I didn't think we were. Last year, I never felt like we got pushed around too much, and I felt like in the second half, we're playing man to man, and we're literally playing man, and guys are. The guys that have that guy man to man, they're trying to make a play, and the guy's catching the ball. Even the play they threw to the big old lineman, we're in the 94 number. Like, we can't let that happen, right? We had them stopped. So, I love our guys, and as I told them, the narrative has been, hey, they're going to win all these games. My narrative's been just go 1-0 every week, lock in. So we have a lot to learn from this game, but I'm sure our guys will bounce back. And it was a costly night. We had some big injuries. Tommy couldn't go, and then. Turner looked like he got hurt pretty severely, so Gunner went in. So we'll have to regroup, after this little 2-day thing.
What was Tommy's injury?
Tommy's got like a plantar fascia inflammation.
You mentioned the defensive just not being able to go up the field and the costly penalties, especially with personal fouls. How surprising was that with that performance based off what they've done earlier?
Yeah, it was. It was disappointing, and I think after last week, you'd have to say that, we really were concerned about the tackling, and the tackling showed up again. It wasn't great today. A lot of guys ripping at the ball as opposed to knocking the ball down. The penalties, I'm not going to talk about the penalty. Even at the end, we got hit out of bounds. I have to see what happened before I can comment on them. But we hurt ourselves, in a day where we needed somebody to make a play, and we made a play. Keese knocked the ball out, or I think that was Keese that knocked the ball out. We recovered it. We go down. We have a chance to win the game and end the game. those two things were disappointing. But yeah, defensively, I think we have to go back and really kind of look and see what we're doing and make sure we're doing the right things with the guys that we have. When they spread us out like Colorado did, but the difference was they were able to run the ball in those sets, whereas Colorado didn't run the ball.
Obviously, overtime went downhill right away. What was your sense of just guys heading into that extra frame there?
Yeah, I mean, Dylan was like, hey, we were gonna take a shot the first play, and then we false started. So it kind of just, we false started, and then, took a sack, and then, even on the last one, we missed a blitz pick, we missed a protection. We had an MA, so, the moment it showed up, and we didn't make the plays you have to make to win those games. I mean, even the ball that they called a touchdown that ended up being an interception. We had a lot of opportunities to win the game, and so we're not a bad football team. It's a good football team. It's a ranked team, and we had all of our we had the chances we had to win. So there's some things we have to correct, and getting those moments we have to kind of go make those plays. Make those plays. I thought Sack called an excellent game. We had lots of chances, and I think defensively we have to go back and kind of look and see, hey, were we doing the right things?
What do you think about Dylan's interception? Thoughts on that play?
I'm sorry.
What do you think about Dylan's interception? Just what happened on that play to
One to Nayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he put it in his hands. I mean, it's two interceptions Dylan has in the year that I think he's dropped dimes in there on, really. So, we had the one ball, he threw the fade to Nayor in the end zone that, I asked why it wasn't defensive pass interference. He said, hey, you're not going back into him enough. So we really tried to emphasize that in the second half, and we made some plays on some deep balls. But that went down the sideline. I mean, we ran right by him, laid it out there. I thought Dylan was superb in many, many ways tonight, so we had a chance to make a play. At the end of the day, the way I look at games like this is, you're calling plays on offense, defense, and special teams, giving the guys a chance to go make a play, and they made a lot of plays tonight. Problem is Illinois made a lot of plays, and we hurt ourselves with some crucial penalties, and so that was a tough play. But we bounced back. We scored the next drive, and just kind of coming down the end, we just needed to make one more play in the fourth quarter. I know that's we've heard that a lot, right? But that's where we are.
You talked about stopping the run. Do you have any concern at this point about how much you guys are running it or how well you're running it?
On offense? Yeah, I don't think the offense was much of an issue. I mean, I think they were loading up the box. They couldn't. I didn't feel like they could cover us, and so I think really the issue was, again, kind of like last week. We didn't get the ball. I mean, so even on that last drive, we were kind of pounding it away, and then just unfortunately didn't hit on that last play. But yeah, I mean, I think the way Illinois plays, they put everyone in the box. When we did run the ball, I thought we were efficient. There'll be games where people will start to play a little different against our guys, and we'll be able to probably run the ball a little bit better, or a little bit more. But I thought Sat opened it up, and we, even on that drive, we threw the deep ball to Nayor, and then the throw back to Tommy. I thought we had a lot of plays in the bank tonight.
Hey, Coach, what's your assessment of the place kicking in the special teams game? You guys had an opportunity to go up. Of course, John didn't hit it there.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't make that play. We didn't make a play really on special teams that tilted the game for us. And I think really two plays. The punt, that unfortunately we kicked across the field, and so they got a big return. They got a return. They made like one or two first downs. Then we had the penalty, right, which put the ball down in the red zone, and they scored. So, really our kicking game is just is not where we need it to be. Tristan was unavailable tonight. Johnny went in there, made some extra points, made the early field goal. Unfortunately, we didn't make the field goal when it counted. Thanks, guys.